So it's 1:02 p.m. I am on my lunch break. Pretty sure I'm off at 4:30. Of course, the downside of having a shift that runs from, I could have just crossed. Not thinking clearly. Kind of tired today. So tempting to go to Five and Diner across the street, but I know that's out of my budget and probably more time than I have anyway. So yeah, the downside of the shift being 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. is it's not really possible to stack a Circle K shift on top of it. And the one shift here pays a little bit less than 2 4-hour Circle K shifts. Not much, just a couple bucks. Enough that I'm willing to take the loss just because I get so much more time without having to spend so much time on the bus going from place to place to place. But on the days where I can get in 3 Circle Ks, I income substantially more than just working at the Extended Stay America. And working at the Extended Stay America, it starts early enough. I can't stack a Circle K shift for it, and I can't really stack one after it. I mean, occasionally there are shifts that go from 5 to 10, but it's not like I can get anywhere in a half hour via bus. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can do for the day, which sucks. There's a big vacant lot right there on 16th Street. I don't remember that being an empty space like that, but damned if I can remember what used to be there. So I'm walking down to Camelback. I think there's a McDonald's down there. The McDonald's app popping up and talking about a $5 meal. Kind of kicking myself in the ass that I didn't pack anything to eat because I didn't bring my backpack because I figured I wouldn't need the extra layers of clothes that I usually bring with me when I work in the coolers at Circle K. I figured it'd be nice to travel without having to have a backpack on me, and it has been. But the downside is I really should have packed a lunch. Like, I don't bring lunch with me when I work at Circle K because there's not anywhere to. All right, nice horn. There's not really anywhere to keep it and keep it cold. But the other Extended Stay America I've worked at, presumably this one, have an employee break room with a refrigerator in it. So I totally could have brought a meal with me and saved on having to buy something while I'm out. Well, hindsight is 20/20, but I can always do it tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, I did have 2 Circle K shifts lined up. I went ahead and canceled them. I had them where I'd started them early, where I did the thing. So the trick to getting 3 Circle K shifts back to back is to do them from 6 to 10. An awkward situation having bicycles on the sidewalk, but as you can see, 16th Street completely lacks bike lanes, so where the hell is she supposed to ride, right? I mean, sometimes I get aggressive. I ride just in the right traffic lane and make cars go around me. I can't blame her for not wanting to do that. Food over there looks like there's a Five Guys, which is way out of my budget. And Chipotle, which is a little out of my budget. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a McDonald's just south of Camelback. So anyway, the schedule that works the best for stacking 3 stores is to work one from 6 a.m. to 10, and then work the next one from 11 to 3, and then the next one to 4 to 8. That is a really long work day, especially when you consider the time it takes to bus out there. I believe I have that schedule set up for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. which is considerably more income than what I make working one shift at the Extended Stay America. And part of me is, I'm still on the fence. Do I want an easier, more convenient work day with an easier commute, or do I want to make more money? Right now, I could really use more money. But, okay, there's McDonald's straight up ahead. She mentioned the Chick-fil-A here, and that's kind of out of my budget right now as well. Hey, but at least I'm not living out of a stolen shopping cart, so there's that. I remember what used to be in this location. So, anyway, yeah, that's what I got scheduled for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm still on the fence as to whether I'll cancel those or cancel my shifts at Extended Stay America. Extended Stay America is a lot more pleasant, although I do feel they're a little disappointed with how few rooms I'm getting done. But I don't know, when I'm cleaning, I just can't bring myself to do a half-assed job. I intended to be thorough on it. 2 shifts I canceled today were both in South Tempe. And after all the trouble I went through trying to get into Tempe yesterday, and I wasn't even going to South Tempe, that was like the north end of Tempe. It wasn't a hard decision to cancel those for today. At one point I did back them up. Like I had them from 6 to 10, and then from 11 to 4, and I backed them off to where they'd be 11 to 4 and 8 to 10, because I figured that would work easier with the buses, since the early morning seems to be the real problem in getting to Tempe. My big fear was that this Extended Stay America was going to cancel on me like they did in the past. But they didn't, and it looks like I'm pretty solidly here tomorrow. From what the manager said, her entire housekeeping staff has quit. So I could probably apply to get a job there, although who knows, she's probably not too thrilled with, I don't know. I seem to do the job slower than what they want, and I doubt that they really look to see how actually clean the rooms are, but I tend to get them really, really clean. Anyway, I canceled those shifts, so definitely going to, unless they cancel me, of course, going to Extended Stay America tomorrow.
Good guy, picked up on the old man like this. Now you did the chef on. You told him that. Anyway, he said you just pull over. You just pull over. I mean, the supposed to be on the back part on the whole thing.
I'm almost home. 5:43 p.m. I got off at 4:30. Even in a route where buses are easy and run frequently, it still takes me over an hour and 15 minutes to get home. And it's super frustrating because driving from there, 15 minutes tops. Shit, I sat on the side of the road for 15 minutes before the bus even showed up. Of course, that was kind of bad timing on my part. As soon as I walked out of the hotel, the bus was driving in front of the hotel. So yeah, I guess I should be grateful that I only had to sit 15 minutes waiting for the 16, as opposed to 30 minutes or longer, as it is to wait for so many other buses. Some cacti in here. That's kind of cool. So, good news is somebody left some ice cream behind in the last room I cleaned. Bad news, it's been taking me so long to get home, and it's so hot out that it's probably going to be completely melted by the time I get home. I don't know. Maybe it'll refreeze. I'm hopeful. So that last little bit of skirmish or drama that I got on video, yeah, I probably should have videoed more, but I was worried that if I took my phone out and started recording, I would end up being part of the brawl that was going on the floor of the bus directly in front of me. Bad enough that I found a really nice IKEA jar inside the last room I was cleaning, and I bumped it against the bowl on the bus and it shattered. It's kind of how I feel inside these days. It's shattered. Getting around like this just kind of drains my soul of my will to live. But anyway, you know, the anti-car types are like, oh, public transportation, people should use more public transportation. And it isn't even about availability of it. Like, the shit that goes on buses and at bus stops just makes you question if society is even worth living in anymore, because it's so awful. So yeah, that guy who, as you can tell, his communication skills aren't so good, he got on the bus, older black guy, and I couldn't really hear what was going on with him and the bus driver, but they seemed to be arguing when he got on, and it was certainly taking him a while to get on the bus. And the younger black guy, I would guess probably 30-ish, sitting to my left, had a safety vest on. Looked super familiar to me. Not sure if I knew the guy or not. Anyway, he's yells at him, dude, just get on the bus and sit down. Which honestly was sort of what I was thinking as well. I couldn't really tell what was taking the guy so long to get on the bus, but yeah, the bus was running late, and people doing bullshit like that just makes it run even later. And anyway, the guy finally gets on the bus, walks up, and mind you, this other guy is sitting directly across from me. Walks up to the guy sitting directly across from me. It's like, what'd you say to me? Did you tell me I need to sit down? You want to do something about it? Yeah, well, the young guy did something about it. He got up and punched dude right in the face. And then he just started pounding on the old dude. And the old dude seemed to be trying to defend himself, but I mean, it wasn't. I mean, that guy looked like he was probably in his early 60s. And a little heavy and a little frail. And the young guy that was pounding on him looked to be about 30, probably half his age, and was pretty fit. I mean, he was wearing a safety vest, so odds are the guy does warehouse work, you know, and pretty physical work. And yeah, he was just pummeling the guy. It wasn't just punching him either. I mean, he was kicking him in the face and kneeing him in the side and the ribs. And I mean, he was pummeling the shit out of him. And the driver's just sitting there doing nothing. And you know, what should the driver do? I don't know. You know, should dealing with that even be a bus driver's job? I don't think so. That shit shouldn't even happen. But it did, and it's happening. It's right in front of me. I'm just kind of sitting where I'm at. And part of me wants to film it because that's what I do. And part of me just sat there and watched it. It went on for quite a while. And I think one thing that really stood out to me was just how unaffected everybody else on the bus was. Everybody's just like in their own world, looking at their phones or staring into space, listening to the earbuds, or just otherwise non-concerned. It's like, oh yeah, well, you know, two melanated people in a brawl on the floor of the bus. Yeah, here in Phoenix on the Thomas bus, we just call this Tuesday afternoon. So yeah, the bus driver did at one point yell, "You guys need to get off the bus, take it off the bus," which of course had no effect on the guys brawling on the floor. Yeah, it really felt sorry for was a guy that looked to be an amputee that was in a wheelchair. Couldn't tell if he was a single or double amputee. My vision is just not so great these days. But he was sitting where I was sitting when I first got on the bus, directly opposite. It was one of those articulated buses where it's like kind of two buses with a little little flexi piece in the middle. Extra long bus. There's got to be something else to drive. Yeah, a guy was sitting in the front half of the bus, directly opposite his wheelchair, secured directly opposite the door. Now, I was sitting there because I'm carrying a bowl with a couple bottles of water and I think it's an unopened thing of ground beef. It was frozen. I'm sure it's not all that frozen now. And 2 things of ice cream that were frozen. Probably not all that frozen now. It's been an hour, 15 minutes plus that I've been trying to get home. It's crazy, because in that amount of time, I could fucking drive home from the north into Tucson. But yeah, that's how long it takes to get home via bus and walking from a hotel that's, 15-minute drive away, because that's just how it works. So anyway, yeah, when the guy with the wheelchair came on, I realized he was going for my spot, so I moved to where I was, opposite the young black guy. I didn't give him much thought other than I sort of glanced at him, and he looked familiar to me, and the fact that he was wearing a safety vest made me think, maybe he worked at a warehouse I've worked at. Since I've been doing temp apps, I've worked at so many. Anyhow, he's, the brawl's going on, like, directly in front of the guy in the wheelchair. I'm so worried they're going to land on him, and of course he's not even capable of moving because his wheelchair is secured by straps into the spot where he's at in the bus. And that guy did look affected. He looked absolutely mortified by the situation. And the driver's just sitting there stopped. I want to say we're at 38th Street in Thomas. Right in front of the old brass rail. I'm going to go around the back because there's somebody in the front. Right in front of the old brass rail, and he's just sitting there. He opened the back door, told them that they needed to leave, but they're not leaving. Well, eventually the young guy gets tired of pummeling the old guy, and he leaves the bus. Of course, he had to go back to his seat and grab his backpack and his stuff, which he leisurely did. I was kind of looking at him because I'm sitting by his stuff, and that's awkward. And yeah, he gets off the bus, walks away. God knows where he went. There's video surveillance on the bus, but video surveillance doesn't stop anything from happening. It just gets video of it. Hello there, Not Sambo. How are you? How are you? I still call that cat Not Sambo. Hi, how you been? I like that cat more than I like Nugget, who is my cat at this point. So, I was ready to set myself down. My hand hurts from carrying it. It's just shy of a mile from that bus stop to here. I was on the 44 the Route 29 Thomas bus that only goes to 44th Street, so I ended up having to walk to 46th Street. Trying to get my damn keys out of my pocket. I got a bunch of other bullshit in my pocket right now that I added to it. That's making it a little difficult to get my keys out. All right, got them. So anyway, that guy gets off the bus, and the other guy is on the ground, and he seems to be pretty hurt. He's not moving his left hand all so good. He's on the seat, and he starts yelling at the bus driver, call the police, call the police, call the police. Oh, dude, you got a phone. Call the police yourself, and probably get off the damn bus so the rest of us can get where we're going. Well, I'm not saying that, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. And I should be more sympathetic to a guy that's old who just got pummeled by a guy half his age. But, to be fair, the old dude provoked the situation. Like, once he got on the bus, he could have just simply sat the fuck down. He didn't have to go to the back of the bus. Rosa Parks fixed that situation. He could have just sat right up there at the front of the bus and had no conflict with the young dude. He could have, but he didn't. He came directly back to the young dude and started talking shit. And promptly got his ass beat for it. So, as much as I feel bad for the old guy, and nobody should be beating the ass of a guy twice their age, probably you shouldn't be provoking somebody half your age that has the capability of completely beating your ass. Just throwing that out there. Leave my shoelaces alone, Nugget, you little shitball. I don't really like that cat anymore. So, anyway, that guy's screaming, stop the bus, stop the bus. I'm glad the driver kept going. I was just wanting to get home and get my ice cream and into the freezer, which I need to do now. Oh, it feels so good to get my dang shoes and socks off. So, yeah, old dude did seem to get hurt, but I mean, he was walking around. Oh yeah, these ice cream containers feel extremely soft. Oh, my freezer is so full of crap. I don't even know what most of this crap is. My mother got a bunch of... Oh man, this ice cream's all totally soft. Mother got a bunch of food bank stuff, and it's probably mostly stuff I'm not even interested in, but here it is, filling my freezer to where I can put the stuff I want in here. Alright, I got one in place. Will it close? Did I make a big mess closing it? No, but I knocked down the mayonnaise knife. Wash that off. So, yeah, dude's kind of yelling at the bus driver. Bus drivers these days now, they got them in cages. They used to just sit, in a seat in the front, and there was no wall or anything between them and the passengers. But for quite some time, Valley Metro's had them in cages, and of course he's got everything closed, so he's safe and detached from the craziness that's inside the bus. Kind of wish I had something like that to protect myself so I didn't have to be directly connected to it, but nope, I'm there connected to it. Anyway, yeah, by the time we got to the last stop, old dude had managed to call the police, and I recorded a little bit of that. When I left, the driver was finally on the phone with police. He came out of the bus, but by him getting out of the bus to talk to the police the way he did, he was neglecting to open the back door. So it's the last stop where everybody needs to get off. And we're not able to get off because the back doors won't open because the drivers got out of the bus without opening them, which was pretty shitty to all of us. Of course, I really feel sorry for the amputee in the wheelchair because he wasn't even undoing the guy from the wheelchair, and he's just stuck there, strapped in, not able to get out. And when I left, he was still there. Hopefully he was released. But, yeah, it was a real shitty situation with a guy in a wheelchair. Anyway, yeah, that's what it's like riding a bus in Phoenix. So much fun. It's a safe green alternative to driving.